Ice water turn Atlantic. Night calling in a phantom. Told them, hold it, don't you panic. Took an island, left the mansion. Drop the roof, more expansion. Drive a coupe, you can stand it. Bitches undercover. I'm an ass and titty lover. Guess we all meant for each other. Now that all the dogs free, and we out in these streets. Can you do it? Can you pop it for me?
Pull up in a demon on guard. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod.
For a thinner crust, I recommend you use self-rising flour instead of all-purpose. Also, roll the dough as thin as you can get it. Bake it for 8 to 10 minutes. Prick it with a fork, and then add your tomato sauce and the remaining toppings and bake. Greetings from Jacksonville, Arkansas. Today is Saturday, April the 26th, 2025. The time's approximately 8 o'clock p.m. You all, I have already gotten started. I said, you know what? I should have filmed this. As you guess, yes, it's pizza, but if you notice, this is much bigger than before. So this video is, I'm going to show you how I doubled the size of my pizza crust using all-purpose flour and yeast and a little bit of sugar, of course, to help the yeast to activate. So this is what I have done already. I put in a bowl the 1 package of Pillsbury pizza crust, 6.5 ounces. First, I put in right here where it says a half a cup of hot water and 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. I put in a whole cup of water instead of a half a cup of water. And the package instructions is here. And I added what I had left of the fast rising yeast. This is the instant yeast. I put that in there along with a small amount of sugar, like around maybe a teaspoon of sugar or less. And, you know, with a cup of warm water to help the yeast to dissolve. Then I went in with the package. I opened up the Pillsbury pizza crust. You can use the store brand like Walmart, great value. But this is the pizza crust thin and crispy mix. But I don't necessarily make mine thin. But nevertheless, I have a taste for pizza. I will be using a fresh batch of pepperoni. This have not been opened. This is a new one. I've used this before in a previous video. As you can see, the seal is still intact. I will be opening that up now. This is the original Great Value Walmart pepperoni. After I added the pizza crust, I added all-purpose flour. I didn't measure it. I just went, because this is all-purpose flour, it does not contain any salt or baking powder or any type of rising agent or salt. It doesn't have that either. If it was self-rising flour contains salt and baking powder. So what I did here, I took what's in this dough here is the Pillsbury pizza crust, the all-purpose flour, the yeast, and a little bit of sugar to help the yeast to rise. I put a little bit of this grated Parmesan cheese. I know it goes on top of a pizza or spaghetti or lasagna or your pasta of your choice after it's cooked. But this contains some bit of salt. I did put this in here. You can see the little yellow specks. That's all courtesy of the Parmesan dry cheese toppings here. Now, I did put just a like a pinch of regular iodized salt. Salt flavors will come together, not to make a salty bread, but just so that it's not too bland. I did put in a little bit of canola oil into the batter, and I did oil or grease my pan with Wesson canola oil. You can use vegetable oil, shortening, or whatever you have. So you all, this is how you double the size of your 1 package of 6.5 ounce package pizza crust. I all but double the size. So right now, you all, this is where I grabbed the camera. I say, you know, I should have filmed this. And I was thinking maybe next time I'll show them step by step. I already have some pizza videos out there, and I'll be including those in the video. You've seen me make pizza before, but this one is one that has been blended with all-purpose flour. I also have my fresh jar of pasta sauce. This is traditional Great Value brand. It's more economical. You can use whichever you like. I ran out of the Ragu spaghetti sauce, so I have the Great Value, and I'll be using that. I'll be using this traditional pasta sauce, which is typically used for spaghettis. I'll be using it on my pizza crust. Taking my hand, and I'm just pressing it out. You see how big this pizza is? This pan is huge. This is big. And you see how that the pizza is almost covering the entire pan? So this shows that I have all but double the size of the packaged crust by adding all-purpose flour. Here, I'm just getting ready to discard it here. But this is the non-stick pizza pan that I did a video on where I made the pizza on. And this is the size of the pizza pan. It's 16-inch in diameter. Seems like it's bigger than that, which is 40.6 centimeters. See, it's got to be much bigger than 16 inches, but this is the pizza pan that I'm cooking on, the non-stick by Mainstay. So with any pizza that you're making, especially with this homemade, you know that the first thing you got to do, and I'm just making sure that the crust here where it's too thin, I'm just kind of pinching it to bring it together so that the pizza can cook as evenly as possible. And then I'm going to put this in the oven and let it bake for about 5 minutes. And then I'll get my pepperoni open and grab my mozzarella cheese and get ready to, layer her up. I wish you could have seen me when I was kneading the dough. Okay. Oh, and also it does have a little bit of Italian, let's see, I did put a little bit, not a lot, of this Italian seasoning in there. You can't really see it, but it's in there. There's some right there. That's Italian seasoning. My pan is oiled and my oven is hot. And I'm going to... it says thin crust. You can make it thick or thin. I usually make mine thicker than thin, but this is going to be more closer to the thinner side, but we'll see. Some parts is thick. I'm just trying to smooth it out because once it starts baking, it's a wrap. So, you guys, let's go ahead and place her in the oven. My oven is hot. Here goes. While the pizza is baking in the oven for about 5 to 6 minutes, because you got to bake it a little bit so it can start getting firm. And then I'm going to take it out and layer it with the pizza sauce. I'm going to be using the pasta sauce that you use for spaghettis. Now, if you have the pizza sauce in the jar or the marinara sauce, it's primarily the same thing, okay? You can customize it to your taste or use it as is in the jar. I have here mozzarella cheese, I have medium cheddar, and I have mild cheddar. I will be putting this one back in the fridge, and because I don't want a lot of cheddar cheese on my pizza, but I do like to sprinkle a little bit on it, but I'm mainly going to be using mozzarella with just a little bit of that mild cheddar cheese. But let's put this back in the refrigerator. This is going to be enough for what I'm doing with the pizza topping. Okay, y'all, I'm going to take mine out. I can see that the dough is rising a little bit. And my oven gets super hot, so to minimize it getting too dark, I'm going to go ahead and take it out before 5 minutes. Y'all, I have took out the pizza crust. It's super hot. As you can see, without burning myself carefully. You can see how the dough has begun to rise. I don't want it to get too dark, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now and start spreading on the spaghetti sauce and layering her up. I should say pizza sauce. So I'm going to begin putting the sauce on the pizza crust. I have to rinse that lid out, y'all. Now, this is the traditional pasta sauce right here. And I'm going to just open this up. I'm going to give it a stir. I know you've seen where I've customized the sauce to fit my taste by putting it in a bowl and mixing it with like garlic powder and stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to grab this and just pour on some traditional pasta sauce right there. And then I'm just going to spread it, okay? I can see the oregano in there, and it's probably got some Italian herbs as well. Maybe some basil. I can see it in there. And this is, you know, regular pasta sauce. It's not so bad. So again, the purpose of this pizza video is how to double the size of your pizza crust when you only have one package of pizza crust that's 6.5 ounce. How to add all-purpose flour and yeast, a pack of yeast or some yeast. It's falling down back there. Let's see if I can get it to stand up. I'll get some more of that. And so how to customize and increase the size of your pizza crust by adding all-purpose flour to your pizza package of pizza crust that you get from the store. I need some more sauce. Yeah, this is going to be enough sauce right here. You don't need to really measure this. When you know, once you've done it so many times, you can kind of feel and eyeball it and kind of have an idea of how much you need. You seen how I just poured this jar of sauce right over the pizza, over the crust rather. Now, let's get that rinsed off. All right. Now, I've got that spoon clean. How about we put the lid back on? I'm gonna have to rinse it off with a paper towel. Just 1 second. I have opened up the pepperoni. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab some right here. This is a better view of that pepperoni right there. Alright, so I'm just going to grab some and just begin placing it directly into the sauce. this is going to help flavor the tomato sauce. It's going to add flavor to the sauce because the pepperoni itself contains a lot of flavor. So close up on that package of pepperoni. So I'm just going to continue to have a handful of them here in my hand. And so I'm just going to continue to just layer them all around the pizza. Placing it directly on top of the pasta sauce. I'm going to have enough pizza to even for tomorrow. I believe they should have a new Power Book Ghost Raising Kanan that comes out on Friday night with Rock and Famous and whatever the rest of the characters' names are on there. It comes on Stars. And so I might eat pizza, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to eat pizza, but I might watch that while I'm eating pizza, is what I'm saying. I'm just going to continue to go all the way around to the edge with the pepperoni. You can be as generous as you like. If you like pepperoni, load her up. If you want to do part like Italian sausage, like spicy Italian sausage or whatever flavor, beef, whatever your favorite flavors are, that's what you want to put on here. If you want to add black olives, go right ahead. If you want mushrooms, whatever your favorite flavors are. Yeah, I believe this is going to be more than enough. Now I am going to place this one right here. And let's go in with some cheese. There's a beauty in it. How about I just go ahead and pick it up a notch, like Emma Lagazzi would say, and let's just sprinkle her on there so I can pick up the time, the recording time on this pizza. Kind of try to reduce the time here. But y'all, this pizza is super big. It's much bigger than before. Notice how I put the meat toppings down first on top of the... I'm just going to use all of that. I'll just get some more mozzarella cheese. I'll put it in the shopping cart basket there. So y'all look, notice how I put the meat down directly on top of the pasta sauce, the tomato sauce, and then the cheese. This is how it should be done. This is the proper way to do it. But, of course, you can do your pizza any kind of way. I have videos that I'll be posting in the description box of where I, actually did just the opposite, where I put the, the toppings on top of the grated cheese and stuff. You can do that as well. Now, I do have a little bit of cheddar that I would like to put on here. So that took all of that mozzarella cheese. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get our mild cheddar on here. Now, normally you wouldn't put cheddar cheese on top of a pizza, but it is possible. I mainly have mozzarella, but I like to put in a little cheddar sometimes. So here goes. If I can get her out. How about I just sprinkle it? I think that's going to be better. Okay. So we're not, so I'm just going to kind of go on the edge where the mozzarella didn't really spread too well as well. So just kind of go here. So that's going to be enough right there. Okay, so now without further ado, let me open the stove back up and put her back in there. And then I will be back with the finished product, okay? I will show you what it looks like after it bakes for about 10 minutes or until it's golden brown, 10 to 12 minutes. Hey y'all, I just put in all of what was left of this mild cheddar cheese. And now, let's see if this is cool enough where I can touch it without the pot holder or oven. I should say, you know, the mitten. But anyways, you guys, this is hot. This is not that hot, but I'm getting ready to put this back in the fridge. Lord, did I say fridge? I'm going to have to edit that. Let me start over. Okay, you guys, I got to do a little bit of editing. I had a blooper there, but I just added all of the rest of the mild cheddar cheese, and it's on top of the pizza, and I'm going to go ahead. This isn't that hot to touch, so I'm going to go ahead and place her in the oven. And normally I wouldn't put this much cheddar cheese on there, but it needs all the cheese it can get. So with the this is mild cheddar and mozzarella, and I will be back with the finished results. Let her bake for about 10 to 12 minutes. Y'all, while the pizza is baking, I did use this bowl to blend in my flour combination with the package of pizza crust. And so I'll be cleaning this up here, but yeah, this is the bowl that I mixed the content in. Y'all, this pizza is just about ready. I had to turn the temperature down to 300 degrees Fahrenheit because my oven gets so hot. Look at that beauty. So I can let it bake a little bit longer. Let me take a look at the crust. Y'all, this is my extra large pizza crust. Like, this is how you double the crust. Look at that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn the oven off, and I'm going to let it sit inside of the oven so that it doesn't get too dark under the bottom. As you've seen, that the crust is brown, and we don't want it to get over brown, but I will like for the cheese to caramelize just a little bit more. So this is an extra large pizza crust. You know, this is super hot, so you want to be careful. And so I'm just turning it and, you know, into intervals to allow it to finish cooking evenly. With the door closed, I have turned off the oven. I'm going to let it sit in here for a few more minutes before I remove it. I'm going to let the pizza sit for a few more minutes before I remove it from the oven. Let's take a look at her. I turned off the oven and let it sit for a few minutes. That's as ready as it's going to get. Here goes. Carefully. Wow, look at the beauty of this. Now, I could have let it sit for longer in the inside of the hot oven and continue to caramelize. With the stove off, it's still super hot in there. Sometimes my oven don't always turn off. Even when I hear it click and it's on the off position, it really needs to be replaced, this entire stove. I'm grateful, but it has a little technical problem, and it has had some work done on it before. But nevertheless, let's take a look at the results of the pizza. Let me get her cut up and plated up, and then this is going to complete my video. Just one moment. Again, this is an extra large pizza, and I did double the dough by adding all-purpose flour and yeast and some cooking oil, some canola, Wesson canola oil to the crust. Here I have from the local Papa John's I have some special garlic dipping sauce. Of course, this is my own homemade pizza, but you know, I may not put any of it on here, but just it's just an ideal that normally I probably would sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of, you know, a little bit of the garlic powder in there with the pasta sauce, or I could have put like some minced garlic in there to try to kick the flavors up a notch. But the reason why I didn't do that this time like I've did in previous videos is because I have this special garlic dipping sauce, and it's fresh. It's, you know, I haven't had it very long, so if I like, I can just use not all over the pizza, but just you know, sparingly, you know, or just go around the edges. But here goes. Let's go ahead and let me go ahead and get this pizza cut up. This is the time that I wished I had a cameraman. If you have a pizza roller, that will work just as well. But I'm just using a knife to cut through the dough. And I have, on this pepperoni pizza, I actually have 2 different cheese, as you saw before. Y'all look at the cheese pull on that knife there. Isn't that beautiful? It's going to be tasty too. So you guys, I have mild cheddar and mozzarella cheese on this pepperoni, extra large pepperoni pizza. And this is homemade. Again, look at the pulling on that. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Can I get a thumbnail? Y'all, this is just grand. Hey you guys, this is going to complete my video. I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video. I have cut the pizza. Voila. I have my spatula and the beauty of my crust here. Look at that. Absolutely grand. And I will see you guys. Let me get my finger out of the camera there, but I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next. Look at the pulling power on that crust right there. So this is going to complete my video. With that note, I'm out. Oh, and on that, before I go, I just want to point out that I probably will be drinking root beer or Fanta Orange, or perhaps a Mountain Dew Baja Blast. So who wants some pizza? In this case, pepperoni pizza, and it's extra large. And you can choose your drink of choice. Y'all, it's going to be super good. So I'm out. That's what I'm up to this Saturday night here in the state of Arkansas.